It's another week that we get to wake up and go fishing in the marketplace. See if we can't increase some sales, grow some business, sustain some effort, practice some good fundamental sales behavior. My last video, I kind of went off on a little bit of a rant in my last video about ditching the pitch. If you want to increase your closing ratio, if you want to grow and sustain and scale your sales efforts, you got to ditch the pitch. That was the focus of my last video. Had somebody reach out and say, what's my first step? What's the first thing that I really need to do in order to get better at this? Step number one, 7 steps for sales excellence. We're going to go right back to the basics. Step number 1, identify the fish. Look, I don't know how many fish are in this pond. Take a look around the pond a little bit. I have no idea how many fish are in this pond. No idea at all. What I do know is that one day last week, there were about 4 guys out here early in the morning, a couple dads and a couple sons, early in the morning. They were doing some fishing, and in a little less than 2 hours, they caught about 50 fish. Now, 50 fish sounds like a pretty productive day. It is. Don't compare your 50 fish against all the fish that are in the pond. Do you know how many sales you need to make on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual basis in order to sustain and scale your efforts, in order to sustain and scale the revenue that you are planning to grow your business in alignment with the messaging that you have put together? That is a question that must be answered. Some people, you might need to do 50 dials a day to make a sale a day. Some people, you might need to go to 5 networking events a month to make 1 sales a month. Wherever it is that you're going and whatever it is that you're doing, you must first identify the fish. What are the characteristics of the fish that you're going after? Every fish in this pond, whether it would be a largemouth bass, whether it's a bluegill, whether it's a catfish, whether it's a grass carp, doesn't matter what kind of fish it is. They did not wake up this morning wanting to be pitched on the value of the worms that you are using or the bait that you are using to catch them. When you go to the marketplace, you must identify the fish, all of the characteristics of the fish, all of the characteristics of the people who have the problems that you help solve and the people who have the goals that you help accomplish. And then you have to go to a deeper level. You must find those who actually want to do something about it. There are people in the marketplace right now who have the problems that you help solve and they have the goals that you help accomplish. They would rather talk about it and continue shopping and wasting salespeople's time instead of having a serious conversation about their willingness and openness to discuss a solution and put them on a plan to accomplish the goal. Those people may match your criteria. They may have all of the characteristics that you are looking for on the surface as it relates to the type of people, in this example, the fish that you're fishing for. Okay? But don't be fooled by that. The heart of that individual is the place at which they make a commitment. Are they willing? That's emotional. Are they open? That's emotional. Are they committed? That is an emotion, right? Do the fish that you're going after have what it takes to do business with you? If not, they can still be the fish in the pond, but if you're going to increase your closing ratio, you can't propose to them. You cannot continue to pursue the people who are not willing, open, leaning towards you, wanting to hear more about your solution, wanting to hear more about your help. Okay? Step number 1, identify the fish. Now, I have resources for this. If you were committed yourself, if you were willing to do some homework, I actually have some exercises that you are welcome to have. You're going to have to contact me and let me know. I will be happy to make sure you get the practical homework assignments that I take my clients through when it's time for them to identify the fish. Look, we're going to build a rating system. You're going to describe the intellectual, and which would be the demographic, and also the emotional issues that your prototypical fish, your ideal clients possess. We're going to determine the difference between a suspect, a prospect, and a client. There are major differences between a suspect, a prospect, and a client, right? Okay, so if I use this pond again as an example, I don't know how many fish are in here. But if I need one today, then what kind of effort am I going to put forth to catch one today? If I need 25 today, that's a whole different amount of effort. There are 8.1 billion people, fish, in the world right now. Very few of them are going to do business with you. If you do not have a nice, clean, tight criteria as it relates to identifying your fish, you're going to waste a lot of time throwing your baits and your hooks and all your pitches and all the stuff that you do as a salesperson out in front of the people who are going to waste your time because they're never going to buy. Somebody asked me one time about 6 months ago, Brent, what do you look for in a client? Commitment, cash. If they're committed to taking care of their problem and they are driven to accomplish their goal, then the cash is the language that they're going to use to speak that commitment. Commitment, well, I've heard it said before, commitment is like a baby in a movie theater. Must be carried out. A crying baby in a movie theater must be carried out. That's the definition of commitment. If they're committed to taking care of that problem and they're committed to accomplishing those goals, do they have the means to take care of and back up that commitment? It's a simple criteria. I look for that in my fish. Not everybody should go through sales training. Not everybody should go through sales consulting, sales coaching. Not everybody should be in sales. Are you committed to the behavior that is required to get you to the next level? If you are not, you'll never become my client. If you are, you have a chance of becoming my client. And the chance is magnified when you step up with some cash to show the level of your commitment. It's pretty simple. I'm not that smart. But the reality of it is, these are the same principles that you can implement yourself when it comes to identifying the fish. Write it out. Write out the criteria. What is the progression in the heart of the individual that shows they are willing and committed and open to your solution compared to all the other solutions in the world? I encourage you, if you need help, reach out. I got tools and exercises that will help you navigate step number 1 of the 7 steps of sales excellence. Identify the fish. Increase and improve your closing ratio because it will force you to stop proposing to people you should never propose to. Okay? Thanks for tuning in. Wish me luck today. Might do a little fishing out here. I'm actually fishing right now, just disguised, maybe a little bit. But wish me luck. Maybe I can have some fresh fish on the plate tonight. Until next time, good luck, good selling. God bless.